Welcome to Fabricville. Today I'm going to show you how to sew a tie and we'll draft the pattern together. It's a quick project that doesn't require much fabric and it's a great idea for Father's Day. I'll be using a printed peach skin fabric with a black paisley pattern. You also need some satin fabric for the tip lining, wool for the interlining, your usual sewing tools, and some pattern drafting supplies. We'll draft the pattern in two parts, the front and the back, each measuring 65 cm in length. The front tip is 18 cm wide and the back tip is 10 cm wide. The front tip measures 16 cm in length and the back one 7 cm. The width at the center of the tie is 8 cm and I draw the joining lines at a 45-degree angle since the two sections will be assembled on the bias. In green, I've drafted a narrower piece for the interlining, about 2.5 cm wide at the center, with tip width of 7 cm and 2.5 cm. Finally, I draft the tip lining pieces. I mark a line 5 cm from the start of each tip, and the tips 3 cm shorter than the main pattern. I cut out all the pattern pieces. I cut the tie pieces from the main fabric on the bias, meaning at a 45-degree angle to the selvage. I also cut the wool interlining on the bias and the tip lining pieces in satin fabric. I start by assembling the front and back sections. I place them right sides together, aligning the 45-degree seam lines. The ends extend past each other, which is normal and allows the bias cut sections to flow smoothly. I do the same with the interlining. I stitch the seams at 1 cm from the edge. Then I press them open and trim the excess at the points. Next, I mark the seam allowances on the tip linings, 1 cm along the sides and the tip, and an horizontal line across the top. I pin the lining to the tip of the tie, right sides together. The lining doesn't reach all the way to the tip, which is normal. I stitch along the marked line on the first side. I repeat on the other side. This creates a fold at the tip of the main fabric, which is expected. I open the fabric and the lining and stitch across this fold perpendicular to the center line of the tie. I trim the excess and turn the tip right side out. This creates a slight roll of the fabric over the lining, giving a clean finish. I repeat the same steps for the other tip. I press both tips. Then I press the seam allowances along the entire length of the tie, folding them in by 1 cm. I mark the center line and fold both sides in toward it, pressing them in place. Now I place the interlining inside the tie, positioning it evenly through the tips and along the full length. I close the tie by hand using invisible slip stitches along the back. Finally, I cut a rectangle measuring 4 by 8 cm. I fold it lengthwise, stitch it, turn it right side out, and press it. I also fold and press the ends inward. I place this strip on the wrong side of the tie, about 20 cm from the front tip, and sew it in place by hand. This forms the keeper loop. And that's it, your tie is finished. Feel free to experiment with different fabrics to create unique styles for any occasion. Thank you for watching and see you next time at Fabricville.